City Morning Show.
Would you?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello to one and all. A most pleasant morning going out to everyone out there viewing the Sugar City Morning Show. We're coming to you live from Orange Walk, folks. And you know, with technology, it's a great pleasure that we can reach you, you can see us, and you can reach us as well by calling us right here on the show. So the technology is going very strong, and as we say good morning, we'd like to thank DJ as well, you know, one of the largest provider when it comes to internet service here in the country of Belize and telecommunications. So good morning to one and all as we welcome you to the Sugar City Morning Show. My name is Robert Checker Usher. Good morning, San Pedro. Good morning, Kikaka. I understand one of my friend catch it that Kikaka yesterday. Good to know. I remember one time when we stayed at a hotel in Kikaka, I think it was Enjoy Hotel. We're getting it a little bit off and on, but then you get it now because you know how the technology works. They go pick it up on the YouTube and they go retransmit it. They go do so many things. So good morning to Kikaka as well, San Pedro, Isla Bonita, Belize City. How is my friends doing there in Belize? Hope everything is fine. And if it's not fine, then we just have to continue giving thanks and praise. Belmopan, good morning, capital city. Belmopan is a place that is growing. Many people are building up in Belmopan. Many people are getting their properties to live in Belmopan because Belmopan is the capital city. Soon be the city of commerce, you know. And also San Ignacio, Santa Elena, good morning. San Jose Socots, Benqueville del Carmen, Peine, Punta Gorda. Good morning to you all as well. And we say good morning to everyone there in the Andriga, Placencia, Mango Creek, San Pedro, good morning. Orange Walk and Corozal, what a beautiful morning, what a beautiful day. At high temperature today, folks. We're at a high temperature today. And I saw an announcement that is saying something about no rebels allowed. Or no rebels are going to stop anything here. The rebels will be going up against the defenders this Friday night in Belize City. That's a big team, folks. That's a very big team. I touch base, but not a little bit, but we have to get things going this morning and open with a prayer today. So we need to reach our sister this morning. That's right, we need to reach our sister Delvey. She sent out an early prayer this morning, but we will be doing that communication this morning to get that special prayer as we give thanks and praise every day. You know, folks, we give thanks and praise for the beautiful day, everything that has happened. Sometimes things don't go the way you want it, you know, but maybe you may go in a way, you may go in one way, and you have been diverted down another road, and maybe things never gone to you, but everything happens for a reason, and we'll be getting that special prayer this morning as we say good morning to Delve all the way from San Pedro, Isla Bonita. Good morning, Delve. Hello? Oh, yeah, I have a little call coming, that's why I will just have to call back this person. Hello, good morning, Delve. Okay, let me try to get you on because, yeah, let's see if we have communication now. Good morning.
Good morning. Buenos dias.
Buenos dias. Yes, we got communication now, girl. Somebody was just calling on the other line, but you know how it is and can't stop with prayer, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, so it is Wednesday, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, it is.
I believe
the day that the Lord has made.
Yeah, I believe it's the commencement of Lent as well.
Ash Wednesday.
Today is Ash Wednesday.
Okay,
all right. So we have to continue behave good or behave better every day, right?
Every day.
All right. Make we link up with the lead prayer this morning then.
All right, definitely. Almighty and Heavenly Father, Lord, we come before you this morning, Lord, in total adoration, just giving you thanks, oh God. Thank you for this day. Thank you for the breath of life. Thank you for blessing us, Lord, with the ability that we can hear, that we can see, that we can smell, oh God. And I just want to give you thanks this morning. As we commence the season of Lent, oh God, I know that the devil or adversity, Lord, he is at work, but greater is he that is in each of us than he that is in the world. I pray, Lord, that you sustain us with your Holy Spirit, that we may be able to combat and to fight, oh God, the temptations that may come our way, the trials that may come our way, the tribulations, oh God, that may come our way, remembering that you are the one who fight the battles for us. Just as with David, Lord, you helped him to bring down the Goliath. May we learn, Lord, to trust in you, that we too may bring down the Goliaths in our lives. I just give you thanks, and as we go about this day, Lord, may we be a reflection of your great love. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen, amen. That big name, you know, that Goliath.
Yes.
Yeah. Like they have a I think that was one line where Bob Marley put in the song, if you are a big tree, you know, I'm a small rock, ready to bring you down, ready to cut you down. But it's a good prayer this morning. Delve, I know that there is many things that we should do every day. But when Lent start, people tend to turn more to the Christianity and they start to follow the word. What are some of the things that people usually do in Lent, what they don't usually do when Lent is not on?
Well, for some people, you know, they say that they will give up certain things.
Okay.
You know, during Lent is the time when Christ was tempted in the desert. He never eat, he never drink, nothing. But in 40 days and 40 nights tempted by the devil. So during Lent, normally, you know, you'd give up things that you like, or you'd take on something, like maybe you used to pray once a week. So during Lent, you know, sometimes people would make the effort to pray maybe 3 times a week or something like that. And, you know, sometimes some people fast. They fast during the time of Lent.
Yes.
Meaning that they don't eat for a particular time, or they don't eat a particular thing. You know, maybe meat, or, you know, it depends on the individual, right?
Yeah.
So it's a sacred time, though, that we sit down and reflect that, you know, what Christ did 40 days and 40 nights, not eat, not drink. Sometimes we go one afternoon and miss a meal and beat the ball.
I know, girl. I know some people say,
You see?
some people drink the Libya and so on, alcohol. They say they not drink until after 6 o'clock Good Friday. So after Good Friday, Lent finished then 6 o'clock the evening, or that's not quite so?
This Lent finishes, when's it? The last, not yes, it's the Friday.
Okay.
Because after that, then it's the resurrection. So
Okay.
Friday, Christ went on the cross. Well, we don't know which Friday, but, you know, enough we time now, we consider it as Friday, Christ died on the
Yes.
cross, and we are now put into the grave 3 days after he resurrected. That's why we reach all the way to Easter Monday. Right?
Okay.
He rose from the dead. Right? So Lent, we have to take it as in the Bible, Mr. Checky. Because,
Yeah.
like you say, people say we are drink after 6. And
Yeah. And
we drink after 6, but, you know, so.
I also remember growing up in Cookie Tree in the early days. We used to the right now the water side. They used to call it what side, no? And then when I used to tell her that hey, when you no go swim on Good Friday because you become mermaid. And then if you no look down yonder, down the pint, you see one lee shot man I need Tata do Hende. And when if you no go wrong there, so when Tata do Hende, so no can't run, you can't talk because your tongue get heavy, or your foot get heavy, so no can't holler for me. No can't run at Tata do Hende and carry no.
So it means I don't know for go.
Stay home.
Yes.
You know.
That's our belief too, you know, Mr. Checky, for Easter. That whole time there, we no travel. At least we try not to.
Yes.
You know, we still respect it. We not light stove, and
Yeah.
those are traditions that we still uphold.
Right. Yeah, well, thanks again, Gal Delv. And tomorrow, we got a poem tomorrow, right?
Yes. God first, yes, Mr. Checky,
Yeah.
definitely.
Have yourself a wonderful day, okay?
All right, the same to you.
All right, thanks again.
All right.
And folks, we are getting ready now to check in with the Belize Med service, because we need to check in for the weather forecast today, and we go exactly right into that this morning to the Belize Met Service for today's weather forecast. And it is as follows right here this morning, folks. If you have noticed that we have been reading the weather report, we have been sharing it with you. You have been hearing it on other stations as well. And if we look how the temperature is going, daily it's going up. It's rising and rising and rising. So when you see rising and rising, like every day they get hotter, the temperature to go up higher and higher. And for today, Wednesday, the 26th day of February 2020, the general situation right here this morning, it says fair and warm weather will prevail today before an increase in moisture and rainfall with an approaching cold front tonight. So cold front, they look for your approach tonight, so take that shower early, And the 24-hour forecast, sunny today, becoming cloudly tonight. Warm weather with little or no rainfall is expected to persist today. Then a few showers and isolated thunderstorms are expected over northern and inland areas at first this evening, spreading over southern and offshore areas tonight. The winds are blowing east to southeast at 5 to 15 knots, becoming north to northwest at 5 to 25 knots. Gusty and it says seas will be moderate. So look at the temperatures now. Today in the coast it will be 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And inland, remember, it may start Monday, it may start at 90, then it may have 92 or 93 yesterday, and today is going to be 96. So it's rising, it's rising, it's rising. So inland today it's 96 degrees Fahrenheit. So make sure we keep the kids and yourself as well in those cool areas. Look out for snakes, because snakes then start to come out when the dry get like this. Then start to see where they can find water for drink. And in the hills it's 88, but it's very alarming here, because today right in the coast it's 90. Then tonight it falls all the way down to 72. And inland it's 96, and tonight it fall down to 68. And in the hills today it's 62, and it fall down to 17. So that's, in the hills it's 88, and tonight it will be 62. Advisors, alerts, watches, and warning, none for today. A small craft warning is likely to go into effect this evening for strong winds and rough seas tonight and tomorrow. With a small craft warning, operators of small craft are advised to stay in safe harbor. The outlook for Thursday and Thursday night is for cloudless skies. Cloudless skies along with a few showers, a chance of isolated thunderstorms, mostly over the inland during the day, and then over southern offshore areas in the night. As we take a look at the tides, we are experiencing a high tide right now, that's a low tide which occurred at 6:03 this morning, a low at 11:44 this morning. That's a high. Then another low tide at 6:06 today, and a low at 12 midnight or 12 a.m. And the sun was up at 6:13 this morning and was set at 5:58. My favorite time, because I like when time get dark too quick. And the moon will rise this morning at 8:13 and will set today at 8:34. That is your general weather forecast, brought to you by the Belize Met Service, and certainly by your Nortevision Channel 10. So folks, who were telling you about the big announcement where the defenders got out, then they said like no holds bar, like the rebels can do what they want. So we're asking you all to, guys, for the rebels, work out hard, man. Work out hard and go into the civic for this Friday night strong, hold your head up high, and let's get another win. The Ministry of Education usually observe the month of March as Child Stimulation Month, and Child Stimulation Month gets started on March 2nd. He says, hug me, listen to me. March 2nd will be on Monday. They'll be having their opening parade. They say, read with me, help me grow. Also, the Grand Festival of Arts coming up on the 13th. So we're asking everyone on Monday morning, try to see if you can do your runs into town early, if you can do it from Saturday or Sunday, so you might not get in that traffic jam, because traffic might be a little jam on Monday when we have the commencement and the opening parade for Child Stimulation Month. Folks, the time is exactly 18 minutes after 7 o'clock. We'll be taking a break, and we are expected to join by Minister Elodio Aragon on the show. It's Wednesday, and he usually takes time to come here on Wednesday to talk about his achievements and everything that is happening in the East, and now much more because he's a full minister now, and he'll be talking about some of the activities and some of the great work that's been done in the Ministry of National Security. So folks, we take a break and be right back after these messages right here on Nortivision Channel 10.
Would you support a thoroughgoing audit of the 21st century ambulance department?
2008 right up to 2016.
Audit from 2000 to 2016.
2,914.60 acres in Tiger Creek Forest Walk, 3,000 acres, 0.961 hectares, Jaime Briseño and John Briseño, 827.848 square yards to John Briseño, 5.4 acres to John Briseño and Jaime Briseño, 20 acres in Progreso to John Briseño. To John Briseño again, 6 acres in Progreso, the all of Progreso Gawi, 20 acres freehold to John Briseño, mid-Tonga River, to Eligio Briseño, Eudaldo Briseño, and Graciano Briseño, 525 acres of land, 98.8 acres, Briseño, Graciano Briseño, and Eudaldo Briseño.
World-class spaces for Belizean athletes to thrive and fans to enjoy. Our new basketball and multipurpose arenas have proven their worth, attracting regional and international sporting events and hosting expos, conferences, and proud graduates. Your government moving Belize forward.
Girl, that about time you reach my house.
Girl, you know how things go. I busy with everything. But how you?
Since my son got married the girl far down the road, I left here with this whole addition to this house. And I don't know where I'm going to do with it. But I think I want to rent it out for tourists stay.
Girl, that what you to do? You to sit down park gold mine. If you want to use it for Airbnb, first thing you have to do, the register with BTB. So call me 227-2420 and ask them how to register. After that, everybody had to call you for rent your place. But that what you to do?
Girl, then you tell me if I call BTB?
Did you know that if you own or operate a tourist accommodation, such as a room in your home for cash purposes to any guest, local or foreign, regardless of its location in the country, or if you are registered or advertising such room or property with any booking engine or marketing platform such as Airbnb, by law, you must register with the BTB. If you fail to do so, you commit an offense punishable by fine or imprisonment. For further information or assistance, please contact the BTB at licensing@BelizeTourismBoard.org or telephone 227-2420. You can follow us on Facebook too.
Have you ever noticed the development that's taking place in your town or in your city? Maybe it's because you've been too busy enjoying the results. More for Belizeans, more for Belize, the government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Take a journey with us to endless possibilities. Our future as a country is now. Diginet Boost is countrywide. Taking Belize into the future. A nationwide technological evolution. As the most advanced fiber connection, Diginet Boost is a step forward into a modern world. Belize is powered by Diginet. Diginet Boost, now available countrywide.
Six cylinders to pure potential and better performance.
It looks like it vibrates. You think it could be the horsepower?
With a quart of oil and the calibration of the injectors, it will start to get the watchers again on the street.
We take a motor to its optimal level. We speak machine, rush runs, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega & Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Notice the residents of rural communities in Orange Walk and Corozal districts. If you value your health and your children's health, you will dispose of your garbage only at approved sites. The disposal of garbage at any other location is illegal, and if caught, you can be fined up to $5,000. If you don't get caught, you can still suffer health impacts caused by these illegal sites, because illegal dump sites harbor pests such as rodents, possums, and mosquitoes that carry diseases. These can transmit those diseases to you and your children. In addition, the garbage you throw away illegally can contaminate water bodies near your community, the same water bodies you might use for recreation or other purposes. Only with your help can the Department of Environment ensure that Belize's development is safe for present and future generations. You can also contact your local village councils or Belize Solid Waste Management Authority for more information. The Department of Environment thanks you for your help.
Our economy benefits when goods and mobile services get to their destination quickly. When citizens are able to travel without frustration and undue hurdles, everyone benefits as well. The government of Belize is happy to announce the imminent upgrades to the Corozal-Sartaneja Road. 27 miles of road will be upgraded to paved standards and will include the replacement of 2 ferries with new bridges.
Why is it that we're going to invest in Sartaneja? Why is it that we have to take $50 million to invest in an area where we do not have a political directorate? We believe that as a government, we have to provide a service to all Belizeans.
Well, this for the village of Shunosh is a big advantage both ways. Sometimes when we got sickness, we got people sick at the clinic there, women. When we reach at the ferry, can't pass, 45 minutes have to wait. So now this road will benefit whole village, Sartaneja and Copper Bank. I'm part of Progreso too. Well, it's really important for us.
I know that our village is not so much developed with tourism because it's a remote village. And for that reason, we don't have a lot of tourism over there. But now with this upgrading of the road and the pavement of the road, I think that, I believe and I think that it will be much beneficial for us and for everybody.
More for Belizeans, more for Belize. The government of Belize. Moving Belize forward.
El mismo PUP que tú estás hablando, el mismo PUP, ese es el cáncer del PUP que estás hablando, que debes de hablar, ese cáncer que tenemos. Ese es el cáncer que tenemos que cuidar en este país. Ese cáncer que quitaron y robaron millones de dólares de la gente. Esto hizo un poquito de dinero, millones, tens of millions of dollars.
Where are those millionaires? Those people that get millions of dollars over the 10 years when we were in government. Where are those people that benefited? Millions of dollars that could keep on here, but they don't call us names. They need to bring money back to the PUP. Money that belongs to our people's United Country. And that money does not belong in foreign bank accounts. The
San Ignacio-Santa Elena Bypass project is now complete. The transformation began in 2012, and now residents of the Twin Towns and visitors alike are enjoying the end result. Works include the full pavement of Lamalus Boulevard, along with 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage, LED lighting, and a roundabout at the entrance of Santa Elena. The Twin Towns now boast the longest and widest bridge in Belize, immune to flooding from the occasional rise in water levels of the McCall River. A bypass road was also built linking the new bridge to Joseph Andrews Drive, which was rehabilitated, as well as 1 mile of pavement, a median, and 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage. This was all done to the tune of $34.8 million. But that's not all. The project was extended due to savings from the successful execution and implementation of the initial scope of works. Now over 2 miles of additional roadworks will commence, including George Price Avenue, Liberty Avenue, and the George Price Highway between Three Flags and Hawksworth Bridge. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
The soup not got no taste. I can't even feed it to my dog. It needs no salt. And I have no salt. I don't have no money. I wonder when this man I get paid. John! I hope you know that down the street they played no bad picnic.
Mom, you know what? I just came from Miss Mayor's house and she said she was renting her extra room on air something.
It's Airbnb, John. Didn't you listen to the BTB? Did you know it ad last week on television?
Okay, Mom, Airbnb. But still, we have an extra room and we could rent for extra cash for my new school books.
That's a good idea, John. We'd have to first register it with the BTB. But I don't have time for that right now. I need salt.
But babe, you know something? John is right, you know, we need money, but we need to get it the correct way, so we need to register the room. I wish I know about this before. Let's go, son. Let's go register the room one time at BTV.
But I need some salt. John! 2 of a kind.
Did you know that if you own or operate a tourist accommodation, such as a room in your home for cash purposes to any guest, local or foreign, regardless of its location in the country, or if you're registered or advertising such a room or property with any booking engine or marketing platform such as Airbnb, by law, you must register with the BTB. If you fail to do so, you commit an offense punishable by fine or imprisonment. For further information or assistance, please contact the BTB at licensing@belizetourismboard.org or telephone 227-2420. You can follow us on Facebook too.
City Morning Show. Good morning once again, folks, and welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. Today, Wednesday, and it's the 26th day of February, 28 minutes away from 8 o'clock. We held Minister Aragon. You know, Minister Aragon keeps his commitment that he's going to be here every Wednesday, and he makes that effort. So, Minister, good morning, and thank you for being here.
Yeah, no problem, Chicky. It's always a pleasure being here on Channel 10, you know.
Yes.
Norte Vision. I tell you, it's always good to be here on a Wednesday with you and you guys here, no, from the studios. But I just want to shout out all our East people out there, you know, wherever you are, whether you're on the bus or you're at home. We just want to say a pleasant good morning to one and all, and, you know, we're right here, Chicky, to discuss some of the issues, no?
Yeah, so we're live on East Radio as well this morning?
That's right. We're also live on East Radio, 104.9 FM.
Yeah, and Minister, remember one time when we grew up way back, one day like today, that when your mom or papa wake you up and say, hey, have to go to church today because today is Ash Wednesday.
That's
you
right.
remember the
That's
days,
true.
right?
Yes, very true, of course.
Yeah, those were great traditional traditional
I think
times.
it's still a good tradition. I think a lot of people do follow that, and a lot of people go to church
Yeah,
on a day like today, you know.
Yeah, and also, we have the Ministry of Education in charge of the Child Stimulation Month, and that
Right.
commences on Monday. Monday they'll be having the parade, so we want to ask everybody to be careful with the kids. The kids will be out many places. I'm sure they will be visiting the East Radio as well, because they go around visiting different areas, ministries and public areas. So just want to ask everybody to be, cautious with the kids when they're out there.
And I think this month, in terms of the month of March, which is a Child Stimulation Month, I think it's a very important month.
It is.
I think it's important for parents and for children and for the entire community of this country, because it signifies, the efforts that have to be made in terms for us to stimulate our children in education, especially the youngest and the young, and I think it goes a long way. Definitely, we are organizing and working closely with the Ministry of Education to see where we can pitch in and support, because I think it is a very, very important month, and it brings out about the awareness to parents, to teachers, to everybody on the significance of the education and the foundation that must be given to the youngest of the young in our communities,
Right.
So I think that is a very important thing to note, and I'm glad that the Ministry of Education has basically allotted a month for what they call child stimulation.
Right. Minister, you mentioned under your new portfolio that you met with the high-ranking officers in the police department, but I saw that brand new, well, I call it brand new because it was in a bad state, police station for Guinea Grass.
Yeah, well, we had last week, I think you saw in the news, we had the renovation. I listened to Joe Bradley and him. And one spell I heard they say, well, new police station.
Well, like you knew, because,
Right. But
it's back to new then.
Yeah, it's back to new. And I was out there, and it's always good to know that we are able to renovate these buildings. And the building is in good condition. I was there. I looked at all that they have there, and the important thing that has been put out there with the advent of technology is that now we have computer out there set up, and with that computer, that means that the person doesn't have to come wait to Orange Walk to give their statement. They'll be able to give that there now. And for people to know right now is that there's a system that they call the Crime Information Management System that has been around the police department for, I don't want to say for more than a decade. I would want to nearly say it's been there for at least maybe 15 years or more. And this Crime Information Management System is basically a system that basically manages all the crime information for the police department. And that includes statements, everything. So when you give a report and that goes into this, what they call the SIMS, short for Crime Information Management System, that is there. So now with the advent of computers, these statements are going directly into the SIMS. And therefore that is why you can get your police report, and not easy because it's all stored now. And it is a good source of information in terms of assisting the detectives and everybody who are on the system in terms of getting information and in terms of carrying out investigations and being able to recover statements and all of these things. So right now in Guinea Grass, one of the big things is that system has the capability to allow people not to have to come wait Orange Walk and give their statement of a report that they have made to the police, etc.
So that report comes in immediately?
Yeah, so that can be done right out there. And apart from the renovation in terms of the whole setup for that building, which now allows the NCO to be able to live upstairs, these are some of the photos, no?
That's the same building there?
That's the same building, yeah. It has been renovated and it's pretty good. I'll tell you, I was inside. And upstairs is renovated to house definitely the corporal, who will be the officer in charge. And of course, this time around, we are posting 2 police officers.
I saw that. Is there any specific reason why 2 officers are posted there?
Yes, of course. Guinea Grass is...
That's the 2 officers there?
Yeah, these are the 2 police officers who are posted there. It is important right now because Guinea Grass is the biggest village in the south. I think really has a lot of people. It's a large population. It's very,
and it's growing as well.
It's growing, definitely. And I think that the best possible way of being able to put out and provide a kind of security for that village is by having 2 police officers there. We are also working on getting them another motorcycle. They have one so they could patrol together in that village, and also have a proper place to operate from. And the police station has been well renovated, and I feel very good about that, because I know that it is important to the community out there. And so having 2 police officers in that village will go a long way for safety and security.
Okay, what's their jurisdiction? Where only Guinea Grass they are in charge of?
Yes, they'll be in charge of Guinea Grass, definitely.
Okay.
Guinea Grass is a big village, check it. I
know Guinea Grass.
Very huge. So they will have their hands full in terms of the kind of work that needs to be done out there. And of course, I think over the last year and a half, a lot of police stations have been renovated.
Yeah, we have a text here coming all the way from San Jose, so it's in Spanish, but I try to see if I can break it down. He say, yo no sé por qué Luis el Pastor Nazarene pastor from Belmopan are putting politics, and the pastor is coming like he's on a mission to change his government, and but we know it's different from that from San Jose Socots. Dice, pasa un buen día, saludo al ministro también de la familia de Socots.
Okay.
Yeah, but then Minister, one might wonder, Guinea Grass is in the Orange Walk South constituency, and people might say, why the minister they open a police station there, and we still can't get a police station there, Carmelita?
No, we are going to get our station in Carmelita, I think, right now. Well, first of all, let me say, Cheke, security is an issue for everybody in this country, and every community, especially large communities like Guinea Grass, I think require their police station and require their police officers to be out there to ensure that the community has police officers to assist in that endeavor. And therefore, no matter where you are in this country, I think if you go across this country, you'll find police officers posted in various, especially big villages, to ensure that they can maintain that security and peace in the village. And I will tell you that, as a police officer, I've been all over the place, and where police officers are all over, and it makes it challenging because you need a lot of manpower to cover all the communities out there. We have a lot of villages in this country.
Yes, man. Yes.
And not like if everybody would be focused on the city, then you could put all the policemen there. It's spread right out, so you must spread the human resource element of the police department out there too, to match the communities and the growth of communities. So
I'm not sure if I'm mistaken, but I know you do a lot of groundbreaking ceremonies, but I don't know if one of them that I saw was a groundbreaking ceremonies for police station in Carmelita, if I'm not mistaken.
No, what happened, we haven't done the groundbreaking for that. We want to do that very, very shortly. What is happening right now is that, that police station, I wanted to have built that police station from last year. The problem is that transpired is that the land that is on which, where the community center there, Carmelita?
Yes.
The land right beside that community center was the area we were looking to put the police station, because it's centrally located. It was a good spot to put the station because of all the activities that occurs in the community, in what I would want to call the epicenter of Carmelita.
Mm-hmm.
The reality is that we did not know. We went about doing the soil testing and all of that, and the final aspect of getting this project off the ground in terms of starting with the bids, etc., is what the ministry, and I think all ministries do this before they build anything, is to do a check on the lands department to find out, to get the title, to ensure that it is a freehold title in terms that it belongs to government, so they could do the construction. And everybody, I will tell you, there is not a soul in that village who would have ever thought that land was in property for somebody in private hands,
So somebody own it?
Yes, somebody owns it. And I'll tell you, nobody in that village could have said that was the case, because nobody ever thought it. The village council for years, for decades, have been cleaning and maintaining that piece of land.
So
because they believed it was for the community.
So even the person who claimed to own it never made it clean it?
No, never clean it. It is the council that clean that place on a regular basis, keeping it low, because it was considered a part of the community, and it should be a part of the community, because it is land that is used by the community, and it was their purpose for the community. So lo and behold, they did the research, and boom, when I got in the office, I think it was a Tuesday, I reached there and they tell me, Aragon, we got bad news. I said, what do you mean? He said, this land is titled to someone, to some Ramona Cad, you know. And when you hear that, you say, but that can't be possible, and you double check. And it is property, it is in property, what will we do? And it is property to the Cads them. So at that point in time now, we can't build on private
you can't
property.
build on somebody's property.
All the soil testing we had done and cleared and were ready, the engineers, the plans were there, the funding was there.
Yeah, make get this call, Minister. Hello, good morning, Sugar City Morning Show.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
A simple question that occurred to me talking about this land. If this land is a private property, right? Why didn't the government do as they did with Gapi Vega's son? Give this person a good offer of money to get the land back. Because the land that was presumably sold or given to Gapi Vega's son was a private property. So he got the title, so in compensation he got back $400,000. Likewise to this pit. So if this is a private property, why don't you offer an amount of money to a person to purchase back this land? A simple question. Right?
Yeah, okay.
It's no argument, it's just a simple question, and the two sides of the coin.
Right.
One got money, the other one, you don't offer anything, but you want to retrieve that land from the person. Simple question, and that's just the two sides of the coin. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Carla. My thing to that is two wrongs don't make one right. You understand me? If what transpired and what he is talking about there was wrong, then we don't need to do it again.
Yeah.
I believe that the people who took this land did that knowingly, that they were taking this land from the people of Carmelita. And they should have the heart enough to say, you know what, this is a community land, let me give it back because it's for the police station. But they not do that. Then they say, oh, we will work on that, we'll give it back. And up to today, they have made no move to give it back. And the reality of this matter is that if we are going to try to reclaim that land, and I've already written to the Minister of Lands asking him to see how we can get that back for the people of Carmelita, because it is an essential piece of land for the people of Carmelita. The fact of the matter is that these things take time. They take a certain process. And compensation, like he's talking about, once you have property, you have to be compensated, yes or no?
It's yours.
Unless you, as a genuine, voluntary person, want to say, you know what, I am going to voluntarily give this up for the greater good of our community. That has not been the case. You remember the case, and I've always said this, there was a case when I first got into politics with my little brother. And I told my brother, listen, we have to give that up, and he handed that back out.
Yeah.
You understand me?
Yes,
and that was happened. That transfer took place quickly. Right now, at this point in time, the people who have this land are not willing to give up this land.
Okay.
Right? Because if they wanted to do so, they could have already submitted a letter stating that. And so we could move quickly with the lands department, but they have refused to do so. My thing is this, it's if we are going to have to pay people out, that, to me, it don't make no sense, because we're just, that's not going to correct the problem in terms that we're going to be wasting monies and all of these things. And the public out there, I believe that the government must find a way. I'm not the Minister of Lands, but I've written to him asking for this land to be returned to the people of Carmelita, because it is an essential part of community. You know, if it wasn't about the community, then I could care less.
Yeah.
But it is about the community, because if it's not used for police station, that land will still be used in the future. You know, one of our problems that we have is that we not think about what is the needs of our community. They put out, they not put out enough land there to ensure that the community have adequate lands for whatever purposes, whether it be for recreational, for sports,
Yeah.
for
Education.
improving quality of life, education, you name it, we don't plan that way.
Yeah.
And so these essential lands in Carmelita that are at the epicenter of that village requires these lands. And not because they just want it, it is because it is required. And I will tell you that I am not here to say that we just went a strong land. You can't do that, not in property. That has to go through a certain procedure, and that is what is being done. But to end that matter, everybody in that village understands this issue. Why the police station was not built last year. despite that, and despite the lack of the people who are involved, who have the title and making no move to return it to the village, we had to move quickly and try to find another location in the village. We found one which is adequate enough. It's going to cost us a little bit money because we might have to put some 1 or 2 piles in it, you know. Okay. But nevertheless, we have located that piece of land. We have done the soil testing. We have got the engineers out there. We had the people who came in to bid. We checked and we verified that was government land. And so that project is now poised to begin. At this point in time, as far as I've been informed, is that we are just awaiting the release of those funds now, in terms to get the approval from the Ministry of Finance for us to begin with that.
So Carmelita will get their police station?
Yes, we'll get that police station. As soon as that final approval is gotten, works will commence on that. So I want to hopefully do a groundbreaking quite soon, and we could start with that. The only next loop that the issue we might have is that now we have come to the financial year. So we might, the system will close in the next 2 weeks or so, for about 2 weeks. And so we might that might be a hiccup for us, but it doesn't matter. End of the day, the police station will be built in Carmelita. So that has been the delay, Checky. But I do believe that police station that will be built in Carmelita will go a long way to improving the quality of lives of everybody in that village.
Okay.
And also it will lend itself in terms that we'll have a quicker response to the other villages that are remote in those areas. So, I feel good about that, and Carmelita will be expanding and will become what Ladyville is to Belize City. I'm sure of that, for all the activities that are occurring there, the factory that is being built there. When that becomes operational, the amount of jobs that will create, that will require people to live around there. So the expansion of roads and availability of flats, all of these things I think will lend itself to the growth of Carmelita. So a police station is fitting for that place right now.
Hello, good morning, Sugar City Morning Show.
Another comment, it's not wrong in constructing police station in the villages. But we have a little substation here in town by the Bearing Ground. That is really mandate. You rarely have anybody occupying that area. And that's a substation, a little substation I have there. So what this is telling me is that the police force don't have enough boots to go on the ground. Yet we're going to build another police station in our village. Nothing wrong with that. Perfect. That's good. Right? But we have a substation here in Orange Walk that can be used, can be utilized, and that's been done. As far as I'm concerned, I think 2 cycles was donated for that area there. 2 motorcycles, right? And I've really seen that area abandoned. It's a thing of concern.
Yeah.
Because the residents of that area wanted that substation open. It was there once, it was reopened, but it's really mandate. So I think the officer in command in Orange Walk need to be spoken to. So this place is open 24/7. Thank you very much.
Yeah, okay, sure. You see, when it comes to substations, and well, this is the police station that will be built in Carmelita will have to be manned by a number of police officers, because they have to cover other areas apart from Carmelita. Yeah. The problem with these little substations in, let's say, a town, one of the issues is, of course, what the caller has mentioned, we must always bear in mind, is the factor of human resources. Because, of course, the police department always need more police officers. The more police officers they have, that means more boots on the ground. When you open substations, there's always a challenge that when you open it and you want to keep it open, then you have to put a personnel just to be in that office. So let's say I had 2 men to patrol that area. But now we open a police substation. What happens? You put 2 of them inside the wait, as opposed to them doing the patrols on the ground. If you want that to happen and keep the station open, then you have to add more manpower to that. And that has always been a challenge. And that is why looking at where we put these substations is important. Definitely the commander here in Orange Walk has to do his best to find the manpower in terms of or making the necessary requests to the Commissioner of Police so that we can get these manpower and put them in these areas like the substation that he has spoken about. I do believe that they serve in terms of reinforcing that confidence in the police, that the police is around, the visibility and all these things. So it is important, and I listen to the call and I agree with him. We need to find more personnel to put there, and that is something that we have to do strategically and ensure that we have these people. But like I said, at times, I know the station that is the substation. It is used now and then because I've passed and I've seen it open for a little while where the police goes there. Then from there, they close it and then they go. But definitely we have to look at these things. And that is not only a problem here in Orange Walk Town. I think several other areas have that same situation where the commanders draw personnel from there. And therefore, at times it remains closed, these small substations. But definitely, these are ongoing issues, and right now, we are hoping that this year, this new financial year, we'll be able to have another squad of police officers, so we'll have more boots on the ground,
All right, Minister. Well, it's now exactly 7 minutes away from 8. We'll be taking a break because I know you want to talk about some other works that is happening in the east as well.
I think we need to talk only politics too.
Yeah. Yeah. So because they're like right in the season right now. So folks, we will be taking a break. We'll be right back right here. To you folks listening on the East Radio this morning, this is Robert Cheque Usher along with Minister Aragon right here, and folks that are viewing us on North Television Channel 10 over the entire country of Belize. We will take a break and we'll be right back right here on North Television Channel 10.
Motor 5.0, 4 válvulas por cilindro. Todos quisiéramos una. Como que no agarra, ¿no? Siento como que se le pega el balancín. Vamos a darte el aceite que te mereces. Vas a correr como rayo, preciosa.
Los que oímos más allá de las revoluciones, hablamos máquina. Rostrands, poniendo el mundo a funcionar.
Agente autorizado German Vega y Sons. Teléfono 322-3625. Rostrands.
The ongoing technological evolution constantly transforms the way we live our lives. The introduction of our national fiber network creates the opportunity for Belizeans to live the digital lifestyle. Today, Digi is proud to introduce Dana, Belize's first artificially intelligent automated assistant. Dana is the modern customer service experience. Available 24/7, Dana can provide Digi prepaid and postpaid customers with directory information, credit and plan balances, product and promo information, and more. Just talk to Dana. Want to check your credit balance? Ask Dana.
Hey Dana, what's my credit balance?
New Digi promotions? Ask Dana.
Hey Dana, any new Digi promotions?
Dial 113 for directory assistance and dial 119 to talk to Dana. Digi remains committed to introducing the latest in cutting-edge technologies, transforming Belize one technology at a time. Try Dana today.
Thank you for calling Digi Customer Service.
And we also asked Fonseca about a recording secretly made of former party leader John Briceño when he was putting Fonseca on serious blast. So we asked Fonseca about it today.
John Briceño, he has gone mad. We really have to sit back and reflect on what he's saying. Launching this tirade, this attack, is absolutely disgraceful and difficult to understand. But the truth is, in any other country, with a few exceptions, had them made such outlandish statements, this man would be forced to resign, to demit office immediately.
"2019 was a milestone year for overnight tourist arrivals in Belize. There were over 500,000 overnight tourist arrivals, a new record for Belize. Over the past decade, Belize's overnight tourism sector has grown by more than 100%, increasing from 241,000 in 2010 to just over 503,000 in 2019. The National Sustainable Tourism Master Plan set a goal to achieve 556,000 overnight stays by 2030. With 10 years to go, we've already achieved 90% of this goal. This success can be attributed to aggressive marketing initiatives, new international flights, and working closely with local and international agencies and partners. The BTB thanks our tourism stakeholders for your role in this remarkable achievement. Together, we will continue to grow Belize's image as the best destination in the region.
Look at the people leading the PUP anti-corruption charade. The $3 million man, who the US Ambassador Dieter wrote to Washington about credible reports that he accepted a $3 million bribe for an oil contract which he used to purchase his cable company. The malignant tumor, who diverted tens of millions of dollars sent from Venezuela for medicine and housing for the poor to settle his friend's private UHS debt. Mr. 666, who while he was Minister of Education, over $666,000 meant for scholarships to poor students was diverted to friends and cronies. Even a 4-year-old got thousands of dollars under this scam. Baby Toomer, who is the principal in the company that received $3.5 million for a piece of land close to the Philip Golson Airport. Belize, these are the leaders of your new PUP.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. The time is exactly 8 o'clock. We are live right here on North Television Channel 10 and on the East Radio. Robert Cheque Osho, Minister Aragon, and we have RC1 joining us this morning. Good morning, RC.
Robert Cheque Osho, muy buenos días. Good morning. Minister, good morning.
Good
morning to everyone, and thanks for the invitation. I just want to say thank God for another beautiful day. You know, today is Ash Wednesday, and make sure you get the ashes on you, you know. I mean, how they say, no? All of us go through life, and the reason for Lent is for forgiveness. And what is forgiveness? You ask for forgiveness for your sins. You understand? No, and you have to humble yourself, because humility is a great strength. So good morning, everybody. Happy Ash Wednesday.
Yeah. And Minister, you know, as we're here discussing this morning, like I always say that the party has two very important words in the party: united and democratic. We know that we have made to understand that the chairman spoke last week and saying that there will be a special meeting this week, and the party might be sending out announcements for nomination for persons who want to apply. Doing it in a very diplomatic way.
Yes, that's right. That's right. You know, it's no secret, and I've always told people that I see and I talk to, is that the United Democratic Party is going through a transition right now, and it's a normal course of transition in terms of where leadership is concerned.
It's a good exercise.
Yes, it's something that has to be done.
Yeah.
The PUP goes through theirs, but sad to say, the PUP they don't go through the kind of way where the UDP go, then just anoint and appoint, right? In terms of the United Democratic Party, at this point in time, we all know that the Prime Minister is not going to run again, right? And he has stated publicly that he'll be leaving. And in that light, we must now come together and find a new leader to head the party, and also a leader that will become the Prime Minister for a short period of time before we go to general elections. And that is the issue we are on right now. You know, you'll hear out there a lot of nice, there's fighting, there's this and that. Well, listen, these things are in terms of when you go to an election, or it's normal. It's normal. You have to have people who... leaders who want to vie for leadership, etc. This is normal. It is a normal course of things, and of course it has its ups and downs, but at the end of the day, it is a process that must be done. And I'm proud to know that the United Democratic Party is going through that process where we have deliberations, we have discussions, we have certain people supporting this person and the other, etc. Some of these things might not be pleasant, but at the end of the day, the entire purpose is for us to find the best leader to lead this party forward. And I think that is where we are right now. You mentioned about some meeting coming up. That is what we call the National Party Council meeting this Saturday, where we have representatives from all over the country coming of the United Democratic Party, and we will have discussions on the way forward. And you must bear in mind that the United Democratic Party is governed by its constitution likewise. So it's not only coming together and we said this and that, it is about following the constitution of this country. At this point in time, we all know that Saldivar has resigned as the party leader elect. He has also resigned from cabinet, and what is now happening now is that vacancy for party leader is vacant and must be filled.
Yes, so, and the process is that it goes through the National Party Council, at which point the National Party Council sets out the procedures. The procedures being one that, okay, a date will be set when applications are open for those who are interested. You must be a member of the House. That's one of the things, to participate.
You have to put the name down
and apply, and if you have more than one, a date is set for endorsement. If you have more than one, a date is set for the convention, and then that is where the campaign goes. And like Minister rightly mentioned, I have been fortunate to see transitions of leaders from way back from the 70s with the late Honorable Dean Linda, where they had conventions with Paul Rodriguez, Ken Tillett, the Tillett brothers, and then the one with Dr. Ted Aranda, and then with Manuel Esquivel and with the Imbaro. So that I have been through the whole scenario of the transition of the political party, which we are very proud. That is why we call ourselves the United Democratic Party, and that is what gives us the distinction. And not only that, we live up to, I always say, to the pride and joy of the symbol of our UDP flag. You will notice that the opposition flag is only two. In other words, only they can live. It's a blue and white thing. If you know blue and white, and that is why we have what you call anger, only kind of political anger, because they have been trained to see blue and white. But when you are in the process of thinking for the nation, and you are a mass party, you must exemplify what you say. And so the United Democratic Party has the blue and white and red. So it's red, white, and blue. So it encompasses UDPs, PUPs, NEPs, FVPs, and it has the 6 dots to show pride, honor, and respect to each district which is included within our nation. So our United Democratic Party flag is a great symbol of unity. And that is why we use the word United Democratic Party, because it encompasses PUPs, UDPs, and everybody who believe in democracy. And there are a lot of PUPs now who have seen how their party is going down and will be joining the UDP in the upcoming election. You understand? So the UDP is preparing itself with the transition of leadership to march to victory in 2020. Yep. Now, having said that, the Right Honorable Dean Barrow continues being the party leader. He's the Prime Minister. And one thing that is symbolic of the UDP in government, since 2008 to the present and going down, work has not stopped. It continues. It's a continued work. So in other words, we wait till election time like the PUP used to do. No, the UDP is working and working every day. You hear the minister clearing land in roads in Santa Marta, putting lights here, putting lights there, and you hear things opening. Why? Because the work continues under the United Democratic Party.
Yeah, but Minister, you are a newcomer in this. You won in Orangewa East.
No, hold on. Let me tell you something. He may be a newcomer as a minister.
Yes, I know.
But he has a legacy and a tradition for him. A Levi with his father, the Honorable Elodie Aragon Sr., working along there. So he knows. He comes from that background of dealing and being humble and kind to people and helping people. You know, I have known him. He's a little boy, and he was always taught respect people, work for people, and do good for people. So he comes on this environment.
Yeah, but then, Minister, the opposition came out last week, Sunday. They had a demonstration, and the demonstration was against corruption.
Well, definitely, you know, and this is what we are talking about. First, you have to understand that and I just want people to know, the United Democratic Party is now finding a new leader, and I believe that they will do so very, very soon, that we will come out united and behind one person to take us to the next general election. And that will be a magnificent thing for the United Democratic Party. When we look at the PUP, you know, I've always said and I've always made it quite clear. The PUP, when you look at the PUP right now, what are they doing? They start with this march against corruption. I said it here last time. They're supposed to have shame. Johnny Briseno should be ashamed of himself, because every right-minded Belizean and every right-minded Orangewa here in this district of ours knows who Johnny Briseno is. You know, he to march against corruption to me, that is an insult to the intelligence of our communities and our people. You know why? Because we know who Johnny Briceño is. If we never know him, I mean, a different thing, but we know who he is. How you have been, it's alleged to have taken, what, $3 million in terms of monies for two cable station for some PSA agreement for oil. You know, his name has always been out there. He was part and parcel of the most corrupt government that this country has ever seen. And then not only he, you have Musa, and I'm not afraid for call it because it is out there. This is information, you can just Google it and you will find it. You could read but all the irregularities in terms of the alleged corruptions, the deals that they had done, that they brought this country right down to nearly on its knees, I would want to say. And these are realities. These are not fictitious thing we are doing. This is not the propaganda. This is the truth of the matter. And for them to come together and say we're going to march against corruption, they have the face and the brass for get out there and march against corruption. You know, that to me is the most hypocritical thing any person can do. And for you to be able to do that, you must have no shame. You take people for fool. And I think that is not right. But, you know, the Belizean people are watching. And all I ask people to do, and especially our young people, I ask them, don't take our word for it. Look at these guys, Google their name, look at what they have been involved in the past, and you will see. When we talk about the super bond, people don't know. I think we had to do one bullet payment of what, $26 million.
Yeah, I understand that happened. Just happened.
$26 million had to go for what? For monies that we owe as a nation. And this was under the PUP. And you know why they did the super bond? They brought all these monies together because they were covering the misspending, the corruption, the thievery that took place out there, and they put it together under one loan. And that created the super bond. And that is what we are paying. Just, I think, last month or a couple of days ago, we had to make a bullet payment at $26 million, which could have gone to a lot of other infrastructural developments in this country of ours. Yeah. And yet they have the face of brass to walk down the streets and go on a demonstration against corruption. Something is terribly wrong with them people. And not only that, but we as Belizeans, I mean, listen to me, whether you be a POP or UDP, you're supposed to be able to think for yourself, man. How you have these people wanting to come back in office? Come back in office, you know. It's basically you're handing the keys of this country and telling them you have 5 years to do what you want. My brother, you have proven what you stand for in the past, and that is why they were removed from office. If people don't know why the PUP came out of office, it is because of all the allegations of corruption. No one incident or two little incidents. We are talking about many instances, and not, we're not talking about 1,000, tens of thousands. We are talking about hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars that these people are siphoned out of government. And they're not take my word for it. I've always told people Johnny Briceño has begun publicly. They tell the people, bring back the millions. He said it personally, that is in his words. He know why he said that, because they stole millions of dollars from this country. And for them to walk and say, no, we there they walk in terms of one demonstration against corruption. My brother, I could understand that if there were new blood in the PUP. But there are no new blood in the PUP. You have Johnny Briceño, you have Musa and his son, no. You have the Fonsecas, the Marines, the Espats, you have the Hyde, where did they? Listen, all these people were part and parcel of the worst corrupt era in this country. No, I am be the first for tell you the UDP is not perfect. I will tell you that we have our drawbacks likewise. But at the end of the day, when you look at these two political parties, man, we can't. You live in this country. You see the infrastructural development. You see what the UDP has done. The UDP has stood for country and people always over everything else. I know say we're perfect, but gosh, if we will think as Belizeans that by putting back the PUP or that the PUP is an option to lead this country, I think we are sadly mistaken.
But that does not distract you. That does not distract this government, right?
No, not distract the government, but I am trying to make a point here to the Belizean people across this country. Listen to me. We have to be real. We can't expect that you can put somebody who have basically scraped rake and scrape this country in terms of the finances, and then you expect to put him back there 12 years later and expect him to do a different thing? No, man, that not happen. When them people get in there, they will do whatever it takes for them to be set in this life. For me, it is a shame, because they should have done the right thing long time and resign and gone home, because they have taken millions of dollars. Everybody know Johnny Briceño in this town of ours. I know Johnny Briceño from when I was a little boy out here, and I know the Briceño family. Listen to me, they gone for rags, literally from rags to riches, and I'm not like, oh, you okay, you got to leave business. They're millionaires, my brother. They're involved with Smart. They're involved with the cable company. They're involved with the radio station. They're involved with gas station. They're involved with juice. You name the investments, the lands that they have, my brother. Huh? You didn't do that, what, you know what? How long has he been in politics, Rugo? You know me, them more than me. My thing is real. We have to be real with these things. As Belizeans, we have to voice our opinions, man. And yes, they had a rally. And yes, they brought out people. They had about 9,000, according to police, I think it was about 9,000 people, 9,000 people they put it around, which I think is an estimate that is reasonable to put. But at the end of the day, there are a mass party. Of course, they could pull people out. Just like the United Democratic Party pull out people. There's so much people we pulled out there for our convention. Massive amount of people, far more than what the PUP pulled out. My thing is this. At the end of the day, as Belizeans, we must be able to make the right decision for our country. And we have to be people who can think for what is in the best interest of this country. Because if we can't think as Belizeans in what is in the best interest of this country, then who will do so? Who will do so for us? Nobody.
Yeah, and
we have to do the right decision.
And when we look at going into the elections 2020, I mean, why do we go to elections? Why are we having elections? You have elections to be able to evaluate your candidates, to evaluate your parties, and review. Look, who can best serve this nation? Who can best serve the needs of the people? Who can best be able to show that we have development in this country? Who best can put us ahead in technology? And clearly, we can see that the United Democratic Party has proven to be able, the party, to deliver to the Belizean people. Now, politically speaking, we know that the opposition and the UDP are two mass parties, and there are supporters. But you look at the young people of today going to high school, junior college, and university. They have the opportunity, because the vision of the United Democratic Party to develop the programs for education and give them the opportunity. Even the poorest of the poor wanting to go to school has the opportunity to go to school and be who or she wants to be in life. And that has taken place because of the United Democratic Party. We look at the teachers, the good, wonderful teachers that I love so much. How many teachers have increased their knowledge, better their education, because the government has provided free training. They never have to pay, free training. And when you look at the mirror and say, oh, like Minister said, nothing perfect, but just look before 2008, when everything, the government tell you, we can't go no more. The PUP tell you, frozen. PUP tell you, no increment. PUP tell you, no raise a pay. Now, these are the people who stop development. These are the people who stop growth. These are the people who stop you from saying, well, I have an opportunity to go to school. And you had faith in the United Democratic Party, who put in forth these programs, because the UDP is committed to national development. That's for everybody. The Right Honorable Dean Barrow said this government is a government for everyone. And when you look at the high schools, Jackie, and the junior colleges and universities, you see students walking there with a bag. You don't see UDP or PMARC there. You see young Belizeans. And young Belizeans were appreciated, loved and supported and given the opportunity by the principles and policies and leadership of the United Democratic Party, because they believe in the young people. And you see them today, and we feel proud today when we hear they're going all over the world. We hear they're getting their bachelors, they're getting their masters, they're getting their PhD. I feel so proud that I continue supporting, and I continue to support the United Democratic Party, because I can look back, Jackie, and say, look, oh my goodness, look at this boy from village. You know, this village. I used to look at this village boy. Look at this doctor from the village. Look at this professor from the village. Look at this attorney from from the village. Why? Because the United Democratic Party had the vision to create the policies and put the right programs for national development. And that is why I support the United Democratic Party. That is why the UDP will be supported again to form the government again. It's not about the fourth term, It's about the programs and policies for national development that counts.
Yeah.
And the UDP has a proven record. And I will tell you this. Whenever, you have your political rallies, I will tell you this, Jackie. Whenever the United Democratic Party rallies behind our new leader, you will see the masses of people across this country voluntarily, willingly come out to show the new leadership and the new directorate of this UDP party. We are ready to march in victory for continued development for the people of Belize.
Well, Minister, that demonstration was against corruption, like we mentioned, but then some of the messages that was being delivered and some of the questions that have been asked from these persons that was interviewed, nothing was said, okay, you are demonstrating against corruption. Do you look at yourself? What's going on? The question that was asked to some of these persons from some of the media, it's like leading them, okay, you are doing a good job and go through, no worry about the next one. No. There was nothing asked to them, okay, you are demonstrating, but have you cleaned up your backyard?
Yeah.
What's going on? Who are the people that will be leading people participating in your party to go into the next election? That haven't been said.
And this is the issue, Checky. You look at who is leading the PUP. Man, make we be real. Everybody in this country have to be real. We in Orange Walk have to be real too. I always tell Johnny Bresenio he's an octopus because the guy hand in everything. He control everything from town council go down. And that is the reality of things right now. My thing is this. The leaders in the PUP, listen, if there were anybody different out there, then we can't say this is a situation. The reality is that this is the situation with the PUP. They have corrupt leaders leading that pack of PUP. And I know they said this because I said this just because it is politics, because it is the truth. You look into the research, make any young person out there, because a lot of young people don't understand these things because, they only see certain names and that they have not been in politics long enough or politically aware for quite some time. But listen to me. Do the research and you will see the kind of people who are leading the PUP. Now with the United Democratic Party, listen, I've been a member of the United Democratic Party for quite some time, and now I'm a young leader in this party. I know the work and the struggles this party goes through to try to do what is right for its people. Ruben just talked a lot about education. My brother, education has never been the way it is right now, and it has only been under the PUP. Under the UDP. The PUP, on the other hand, what have the PUP done, Ruben? They made promises about free education and all of that. Listen to me, then just come with the kind of promises that highlights who they really are. Then I just want sham. You know why? Then promise jobs, more jobs than actually where Belizeans needed, right? I don't know if you remember these things.
Yep.
When they come and say we're going to create so much thousands of jobs, and then just look like somebody sit down and write those things out. Then write it, and it is words without any proper study. These are words that they just put out there for what? For fool the Belizean people. I've seen it time and time again. And we have to be honest with ourselves as Belizeans, which is the which party, and it is the United Democratic Party that has always has come to the aid of this country when in the worst of times politically. When the PUP said we can't go no more, it is the UDP that stepped in and brought this country and economy back to what it is. It is the UDP who have stand there. Listen to me. If PUP was back in office at that time, if they may win a third term, you know where this country may are right now? With that super bond on that? We may are down in the gutters.
We may have devaluation.
Yes, of course.
We couldn't meet any payment. The country couldn't meet
right.
any payments.
We may be down in the gutters.
You understand? So you were on the road to devaluation.
And this is the second time, as far as I know, the UDP has come to the rescue of this nation. And I will tell you, we have to be real, man. As Belizeans, we can't cover our eye, we can't sink our head in the sun and figure that everything will be fine and dandy with the PUP. Let us not be fooled of what the PUP stand for. Right now, we all know the history. Look at Ashcroft. When Ashcroft came in and BTL accommodation agreement, you name the kind of things that Ashcroft has benefited from this country. When you are saying a white man I come from far from across the oceans and come to this country for what? You think he come here because all of a sudden he fall in love or love this country? He come here because he wants to see what he could get. And he has aligned himself with the PUP to a large extent. And listen, he's back here and he's in courts. Well, you think he got interest for come and talk about redistricting? What is his objective? What is his end goal? His end goal is because he is in line with the PUP. And I will tell you, his history with the PUP has been nothing good for this country. Nothing, absolutely nothing good for this country. And if we allow the PUP to get back into office, because they are playing on the little issues that are out there in terms of bring up this whole thing about corruption. Listen to me, talking about corruption. What the PUP has done to Musa, whose name has been called in this Utah investigation. What have they done? Nothing. Huh? What have they done anytime they come across corrupt leaders in their pack? You know what they do? Nothing. They hide it under the rug. Unlike your UDP government, under the leadership of Dean Barrow, who has sacked more ministers than the PUP put together all in lifetime. They sacked Penner when his passport thing came out. Right now, Jan Saldivar has been dealt with in terms of this, and not because of corruption in Saldivar. It was about a matter of fact that he lied to cabinet, etc., that he got money. Yeah. That's why he get dealt with. You had the other representative that was suspended from the cabinet. Listen to me. The United Democratic Party has dealt with corruption, and they not joke with it. Prime Minister has not played lightly with these things. When you got one man like Jan Saldivar, who was party elect, had to made to resign, that are some serious licks that they have put on these people. You know, what has the PUP done to its people? Instead, they're rewarding people for corruption. This is what I say. Belizeans, we have to be sane in terms of how we look at these things, and the only way we can do that is if we are objective in our minds and we think about these things properly. And I'm telling people, I've always said it, when we do what is right, we can't do wrong. And if we do what is right for this country, for sure we can't put back the PUP in office. We can't put them back there because they are wolves in sheep clothing. I say it over and over because that is the honest God truth. That these people have no interest in this country. When you got them aligned with people like Ashcroft, etc., what do you expect will come up? What is the end result? Ask yourself that. United Democratic Party, we know what the United Democratic Party has done for this country. We know the direction it is taking this country. We know that we can count and depend that the United Democratic Party will steer this ship in the right direction. Is that not what we want for the country? Of course. Yeah. I know, so we're not going through turbulent waters. We're not going through all these storm and that, but at the end of the day, you could rest assured that the United Democratic Party is steering this ship of ours together for all Belizeans, unlike the PUP. PUP don't have no interest for leaders. No, and you know why I said that, Checky? Because as leaders, we must be responsible. We must be responsible because why? We have made a solemn promise, we have our solemn duty to be committed and to serve in the greater interests of our Belizean people. And what the PUP has failed to do. Man like Briseño, man like Musa and Ende, supposed to be done, stand up and tell the community and tell the public at large in Belize that I will be resigning to give forth the younger generation to step up because that's what they need for them. Yeah. And they have failed to do that. You know why? They want to be in politics for what? After you have done gone through all of this thing to be in politics?
Let's take this.
You want to be in politics for other ulterior motives, period.
Right. Sorry, Carla. We have to call back and then it's 26 minutes after 8 o'clock and we will continue with our discussion right here today. It's Ash Wednesday. Minister Lickshot this morning.
We have to be real, check it. This, you know, I get really emotional. No, well, I wouldn't say emotional, but I get a little hyped up on these things because, listen to me, if you love your country, Checky, if you want the best for your children, you want to see the best in the future in terms of our people, then we have to be real. We have to be real to ourselves. And if we can't do that to ourselves, then what you expect other people to do to us? And that is why when I talk about the PUP, I don't hate the party. I don't hate the party, and it is never personal. You know, personal with Johnny Briseño, none of them that I speak about. It is about, listen, what we want to see for this country. And the PUP, man like Briceño and Musa, they're supposed to be resigned long time in the interest of the Belizean people and in the interest of their party. I've always said it here, Checky. The PUP could have won my election a long time ago if they may replace these guys. But they have no dignity. They have no love for people, because you do that. You do that when it comes to a point that you must go. You have to go, man. I know see no leader that wants to say all in life, my brother, because you must give room to younger generation and leadership to come about to do their thing for their country. It is right that you serve, but then you have to move on too. I know they are forever either. I know I wouldn't want to be here forever. I want to be able to do what is right for our people and then hand over the reins, make some new younger blood come up and do them thing for them people. That is what it is about. But when you want to see them want to go in a wheelchair, my brother, something is wrong. And we have to be concerned why these people are aligned with people like Ashcroft, etc. Who you think? You think Ashcroft love this country that he there because he love with Baliana, the Belize City, or he love the no.
And you see,
no love for nobody. They love them pocket and they love what they could get.
And you see,
from us.
that is where the true value of the United Democratic Party, the UDP, comes in. That the UDP has opened windows for young people to get educated, to understand what's happening locally, nationally, internationally, so that they can take up these leadership roles. But they refuse to recognize the talents of our young Belizean people. That's the difference, and the UDP recognizes them.
Yeah, let's get this caller. See. Hello, good morning, Sugar City Morning Show. Hello, just lower the volume of your television or your radio, please.
Hello.
Yes, please lower the volume of your TV or your radio for us, please. Then we could have a conversation. All right, go ahead. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to comment that I am proud of the Prime Minister because he has taken action against Jan Saliva. He has removed him and said you cannot no longer continue to run for Prime Minister of the country. He has taken him off. He did that with Senate. He did that with Jasper Vega. But I haven't heard the PUP take action against any of their own. The leader of the opposition, the last time accused his ministers of stealing millions upon millions. And he even cried out that all of them should go to jail. But that's all he did. He did nothing about getting them to jail. Today, he's hugging all of them. He's hugging Musa, Francis Fonseca, he's hugging everybody of his party, and he's praising them. That demonstrates that he is a big hypocrite. How can you be telling them, steal the millions and millions of the country, bring it back, and then at the same time forget about that and begin to hug them and tell them that they are the best leaders for this country? But that's a stupidness. The entire leaders of the PUP are a part of corruption and thieves who want to come back for one reason, to steal again. That is why they are fighting hard to get back. They have done that in the past and they want to get back and do the same thing because they know that they can do it without being punished. The leader won't punish them, the people won't punish them, so they want to get back again and do the same thing. In regards to Ashcroft, man, well done with the Belizean people. Everybody's supposed to know who Ashcroft is. He is the worst enemy of our country. He wants to come in here and just grab and grab and grab. And he is lucky because the PUP have welcomed him. The PUP is hugging him and telling him, don't worry, man, support us. When we win, you will have control of whatever you want in this country. That's the same thing they did in the past. And that's the same thing they want to do. I think the Belizean people have to have sense, look at the situation, and check. I'm not against the PUP because they have the power to think for themselves. I am against the PUP leaders who don't care. They don't care about the country, which means they don't care about the people, which means they don't care for the PUP nor the UDP. So we have to look at these leaders, these old leaders. All of them are old, all of them are above 50. They want to get back for one reason, to steal the country and people again. Thank you.
Okay, Carla.
Okay.
But what you say, the caller made a very important point. And I think we need to look at that in terms of what the discussion about why masses have the demonstration on Sunday. He said something very valid that everybody knows, and I think we need to make that known around the country and around the world, that the leader of the opposition, again, it's not personal to me, it's the leader of the opposition, he said, bring back the millions, and I can call you the names. You understand? So if you go around this country and you tell the people, because let me tell you, they're very smart and educated PUPs out there, you know that they will be the ones that will be suffering the most because they have been lying to. They're being lied to today. They were lied to before, be lied today, and they're going to continue to be lied. If you know the names, and you believe that you want to fight corruption, you have, and let me use this word, you have a moral obligation to tell this nation. But first tell your party, you know what? Within our party, these are the people, these are the names that I wanted to tell you that took out the millions of the dollars out of this country. And that's why the party lost and you suffer. Because these are the persons who did that to you, and as a new leader, I'm going to clean out this mess, I'm going to get rid of them, I'm going to do that. But unless you do that, how can you believe a man that is not worth to recognize his own words? Bring back the millions, he said. I can give you the names, he said. And the people are waiting when those millions are going to come back, and the people are waiting to hear the names. Even your members of the People's United Party are waiting to hear those names. Because if you are to have faith, and if they are to believe in you, then you must be truthful to those supporters. And you fail to do that. If you fail them, you will fail the nation. So, in comparison, the United Democratic Party has been able to deal with the issues. And like Minister said, at times they hurt a lot, Jackie. It hurt. But if you want to fix something, you must get rid of what hurts, so that you can kill yourself and be able to come back strong and be able to continue the good leadership for your people. The United Democratic Party has over and over again been humble enough to be able to deal with these issues. Because if the Prime Minister says, as much as it hurts me, I must do this. But have you heard the leader of the opposition say, I will tell you who took out the millions. I will tell them to bring it back, because I cannot be talking about corruption and I'm covering for these people. Be honest to your own party. Be honest. So you cannot go and say, oh, so much people come out, 8,500, 9,000, and say, oh, I talk about corruption, when you have failed to look up to the character and moral credibility of you telling the people who they were and when those millions are coming. Otherwise, how can you talk about corruption?
But Ruben, you know why it's hard for the leadership to do that, or the opposition? You know why it's hard? Because he's part and parcel of this game of corruption in the PUP. He's part and parcel. I'm telling you. And we know it because of the history. We know it because of the allegations. So how will he clean house? How you will clean house if you keep your house dirty, my brother?
Yeah.
You can't clean your house. You will never be able to do so, because you can't take action on yourself, right? You'll never do that. And that is the situation where the PUP lies. We talk about campaign financing. Listen to me, you know, I believe that campaign financing has to be looked at. Without a doubt, has to be looked at, right? And I am for it. I believe that it is necessary. We are getting into the time that these things must come about. But it has to be well thought out. It has to be looked at to ensure that we safeguard the democratic process. And why I say this, because in terms of politics and all of this, it requires funding. And how we control that funding or put certain restrictions is important. I agree with that 100%. But look at the PUP, then Trump, these things, have they said where they have gotten money to be able to amass people, to bring people out there? Because everybody we got out there had to be transported, fed, water, give staff drink or whatever. Then though the organizers had to cost money. Where they get the money? Have they declared where they have gotten that money? No. Listen to me. This whole thing about campaign financing must be looked into. Without a doubt, I am there for that. But we have to understand that, listen, before we get to that point, certain things must be set in place. And I'm sure that there's a lot of people who could tell you, well, this is what needs to be done, but it must be well thought out, Checky. And I will tell you right now, ask the PUP when they get the money for that rally. I could nearly tell you when they get the money, And where will they get their financing for this general election? I could nearly pinpoint it where it will come from. And they will be the last group of people to want to declare where they get their money from.
Yep.
And that is the truth.
Well, Minister and RC1 will need to take a break. It's already minutes away from 9 o'clock. We are live on the East Radio and also on North Television Channel 10. Folks will take a break, and Minister Ragon, RC1, and Robert Chucky Usher will be back after these messages right here on North Television Channel 10.
Someone come? Yes, someone coming. Let's go. Sa. Five cents question of the day. Why you the letter here?
Who sent me the letter?
That sign right there. You can't read?
Well, make I tell you something. In this community, everybody dump here, so me just dump my garbage right here.
So if somebody jump off a bridge, you that do it too?
Oh man, no.
You never know that littering is an environmental crime and Department of the Environment can charge you for that?
Why is that a crime?
Because you pollute the same environment you live in, dirtying the same land and water you use. You don't even know that you dumping garbage can make you and your family sick by attracting disease-carrying pests, and the Department of the Environment just to try help we take care of the environment.
Sure, all of that? Well, now that you put it that way.
Thanks for your 5 cents, brother. That's 5 cents question of the day.
This message is brought to you by the Department of the Environment.
Look at the people leading the PUP anti-corruption charade. The $3 million man, who the US Ambassador Dieter wrote to Washington about credible reports that he accepted a $3 million bribe for an oil contract which he used to purchase his cable company. The malignant tumor, who diverted tens of millions of dollars sent from Venezuela for medicine and housing for the poor to settle his friend's private UHS debt. Mr. 666, who while he was Minister of Education, over $666,000 meant for scholarships to poor students was diverted to friends and cronies. Even a 4-year-old got thousands of dollars under this scam. Baby Toomer, who is the principal in the company that received $3.5 million for a piece of land close to the Philip Golson Airport. Belize, these are the leaders of your new PUP.
You have an 8-cylinder powerful engine disguised as an aluminum alloy that spins at 8,000 revolutions per minute.
Goes like this. You think it's a turbo?
No, with a cleaning of injectors and a change of oil, you will run more efficient, my friend.
For those who understand the engine like it talks to you, we speak machine. Rush France, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega & Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
These sunny days are here, and whether it's for a picnic or in your kitchen, you need the meat. Gillette's Meat Shop proudly offers a variety of juicy cuts such as processed meats, ham, bacon, salami, longanisa, and sugar cure ham, just to mention a few. Enjoy our meats in beef, pork, and mutton. So for that healthy cut your family enjoys, visit us at number 18 San Antonio Road in Orange Walk from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 1:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 12:30 and 3 to 5 p.m. Sundays, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Place your orders at 322-3486 or 322-2175 or even 610-4061. Send us an email at derekgillett31@gmail.com. Gillette's Meat Shop, fresh and processed meats.
Ay, qué rico.
El mismo PUP que tú estás hablando, el mismo PUP, ese es el cáncer del PUP que estás hablando, que debes de hablar, ese cáncer que tenemos. Ese es el cáncer que tenemos que cumplir en este país. Ese cáncer que compraron y robaron millones y millones y millones y millones y millones de dólares de la gente. Esto hizo un poquito de dinero. Millones, tens of millions of dollars.
Where are those millionaires? Those people that get millions of dollars over the 10 years when we were in government. Where are those people that benefited? Millions of dollars that could keep on here, but I don't call those names. They need to bring money back to the PUP. Money that belongs to our People's United Party. If that money does not belong in foreign bank accounts, bring it here.
The Philip Goldson Highway between Belize City and the Philip Goldson International Airport is getting a major facelift to the tune of $31.5 million. Section B of the highway upgrading project between Haulover Bridge and the Buttonwood Bay Boulevard roundabout is underway at an investment of $21 million. Works consist of the full rehabilitation of the road to paved standard, which includes the widening of the road to 4 lanes, lined sidewalks and drains, wide shoulders, median, and parking plus a bus lane at designated sections of the road. LED road lighting will be installed along with road safety features such as signs, reflectors, and road markings. The project will also facilitate in the improvement of underground infrastructure for the public utility companies. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Yes, come in. Why, Sean?
Joe.
Long time no see. How is everything?
Everything is good, man. What's the latest with you?
Man, everything is good. Business is flowing. I can't complain. As a matter of fact, I'm working on a new project. Thank God you're here. Let me show you the plans. All right? These are the plans for my 5-bedroom, fully furnished apartment complex. When I tell you fully furnished, AC, hot and cold, Wi-Fi, you name it, I have it. Right? And I want to market this on Airbnb.
All sounds nice, but have you started your paperwork already?
Which paperwork?
Joe, don't tell me you don't know. For you to market or rent any type of rooms, you have to register with the BTB, bro. It's in the law book.
Wow, really, Sean? I never knew that. You know what? I finished all of my work for today. Make we go to BTB one time, go deal with this paperwork, and then after that, go take on Lee 1 too.
All right, cause I thirsty, but make we go to BTB first.
Make we go.
Did you know that if you own or operate a tourist accommodation, such as a room in your home for cash purposes to any guest, local or foreign, regardless of its location in the country, or if you're registered or advertising such a room or property with any booking engine or marketing platform such as Airbnb, by law, you must register with the BTB. If you fail to do so, you commit an offense punishable by fine or imprisonment. For further information or assistance, please contact the BTB at licensing@BelizeTourismBoard.org or telephone 227-2420. You can follow us on Facebook too.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show, 40 minutes away from 9 o'clock. Minister, we have been talking earlier about the inauguration of the police station there in Guinea Grass, and you're talking about trying to secure a property for a police station in Carmelita. We spoke about the demonstration with the opposition against corruption. What is the way forward for the United Democratic Party?
Well, the way forward, I've always think that it is important, one, that we we overcome in terms of the challenges we have right now in terms of the transition process and finding a new leader for the party. That is the first thing I think the United Democratic Party needs to deal with, is that transition phase, to get that over with, and then for us to come together united and determined to move forward in terms of winning the next general elections. I think that is key, very important, because it's difficult to move forward if we don't get we act together in terms of that leadership. And like I said, it is a process that is taking place, and we need to do that as quickly as possible. And I'm confident that the United Democratic Party will deal with that situation as soon as possible. Moving forward is that we must be united. We must work together for the interests of this country in terms of ensuring that we can educate, we can inform, we can meet every single person in our communities and let them understand what is at stake in terms of this general election that is coming about. Because at the end of the day, we need to see the United Democratic Party return to office so that we can continue the work that is being done for the people of this country.
Let's get this call. Hello, good morning, Sugar City Morning Show. Hello, good morning.
Morning, Checking. Morning, RC.
Good morning.
Morning, Minister.
Yeah, morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
I just wanted to make a comment. Perfection is a goal. And it means there's always room for development. We live on planet Earth. And any organization in the world has its problems. The question is, how do you go about dealing with the problems? In the case of the United Democratic Party, we had a leader-elect who lied to cabinet, and the leader of the party, the Honorable Prime Minister, dealt with it. He stepped down as leader-elect, and he had to resign from cabinet. That is a move that saying the corrective mechanism is in place, and as a government we are doing what we have to do to make sure that we improve. Two, as a government, we move towards perfection because in the country of Belize, the work has not stopped. The work continues. Man, I visited San Ignacio the other day after 10 years, and I was shocked. In Belmopan, in Belize City, all over the country, schools are being built, high schools are built, substations are being, Sardinia road up on the way. So the work continues. And as a government, we move towards perfection by doing responsible things. We are working. On the other hand, I see Eleanor Smith, they pull out the teachers for demonstration because she wants this, she wants that. I want Eleanor Smith to go to the PUP and say, I will continue to do your bidding if in fact you as a party can give the educators of this country, because they have the right to know who are the corrupt leaders you are talking about. Give me the names. It's a morally responsible thing to do. Give me the names, and then I will believe that it's against corruption, and I will continue to do your bidding. Because that's what she's doing, her bidding. Immaterial and separation, and that's a scam. But I'm saying that perfection is a goal that puts humans in a position that from day to day they improve and there's room for improvement. No organization is perfect. It's the way they deal with their problems that give the Belizean people confidence in what we do. The Prime Minister is on the right track, and now I want the PUP to do the right thing. Come to the country so that they can believe that you're serious about corruption. By coming clean, give me the names, then I'll believe you. Thank you.
Well said, well said, well said. And I have a text here that was sent And it says, líder de la oposición, no seas tan manioso. That's what he says. Dice, y no seas como el lagarto, he says. Tú conoces bien con son los que, make a change the word, where he says only bad word, fregaron al partido PUP. Y tú debes como líder llamar sus nombres públicamente como hizo Dinbaro, y también tú debes de denunciarlos para que sigas como líder, porque como líder no lo estás cortando, y no cut it or something like that. Anyway.
Hello. Yes, just lower the volume on your television or your radio, please, and good morning and welcome to the show.
Did you hear me now?
I hear you loud and clear, sir. Welcome to the show.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Morning, Minister.
Morning.
Morning. I just called to wonder if the People's United Party are making joke of the Belizean people to lead an anti-corruption parade in Belize City. When they were in government, they were the worst corrupt political party in the history of Belize. Worst. I will repeat myself, worst. A government that was in a party in government who was there for 10 years did nothing but steal the Belizean money and give it to the rich. These same old thieves are back, wants to run our country. Belizean young youth, do not allow these PUPs to tell you they are good. In the past they are a devil, and today they are saying they are saint. They are lying. Let us go back and elect our United Democratic Party, that we can see the infrastructure within Belize and the country of Belize, Belize City, and all over. We can see the infrastructure, the good governance of the United Democratic Party under the leadership of our Right Honorable Prime Minister. Let's say no to the People's United Party. I just want to also remind you that the Sataneha Road from San Esteban was lost because of the corrupt People's United Party. And not only that we lost the Tower Hill, Guinea Grass Road. We lost the Sugar Road to Salazaro. We also lost that because the money were removed from us. Because the corrupt PUP and the corrupt contract of the People's United Party, that is the reason why the European Union will withdraw that funds from Belize. It's because of the corrupt People's United Party. We must, as Belizeans must say no to the People's United Party. John Bristeno is no good for Belize. The People's United Party is no good for Belize. So we must say we will go back with the United Democratic Party for the general election 2020. Good morning and thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Carla. But definitely, I think that as Belizeans, I think this young nation has come a long way, Checky. Rubio.
Yes,
come a long way, and I say a long way. Why? Because a lot of our young people in this country right now are educated, are getting their basic high school, sixth form, etc. Right now. So I think we have Belizeans across this country right now who are able to think for themselves. And I've always told people we have to be real. We have to call a spade, and we have to be real. And that is why I love the United Democratic Party, because listen, even if it affects us, the Prime Minister could try to do his best for cover up this or that wrongdoing, but he is the one who exposed it and say, you know what, it has been done, we'll deal with it.
Yep.
And we have to do that like when you grow your picnic home. If you not discipline your child and show him what is the difference between right and wrong, or you make him understand he can't get where we need to do wrong things, then what you are doing, although it pain in your heart when you're bossing or when you're punishing, you are doing it what the pain in the heart for what? Because you want to see the greater good for this child. And that is what the UDP does. The UDP stands for these things. The Prime Minister has stood for this party, and that is why nobody could accuse the UDP for not being able to deal with corruption. The PUP, on the other hand, they're not the kind of a family that allows the child to do anything we want, and they not punish the child. They protect the child, and at the end of the day, that child comes up and has major problems. right? Because they don't know the difference between what is right and wrong. I've always said that we as adults, we as people, as Belizeans, must be able to look into things, be able to look at the issues and make the right decision, man. Listen to me, the idea, PUP or UDP, I've always said it. We're all Belizeans, you know. You take off the politics out of this, who are we? We are Belizeans living in this country, Belize. Huh? Where we're going? Some people might say we're going to states, not everybody could go there. Huh? We as Belizeans, people like myself, will forever live here. We born here, we grow here, and we die here.
Yeah, it's like
so what do we do as Belizeans? We have to think as Belizeans. We have to be able to look beyond the political divide and say, what do we want for this country? Do we want a better country? Do we want to see a progressive country? Do we want to see a country that will move forward, that will not be corrupt, that will not be stolen from, etc.? We are the vanguards of this country. We must safeguard this country because we are Belizeans and we love the country. And if we are going to do that, then we must be able to make the right decisions for this country. And you know where we have the power? When the election day comes. But if we make the wrong decision, then we have to live with the leaders, the likes of the PUP. And I know say this because I hate the PUP and that, or I hate these guys. I have nothing like that because I know whole malice, I don't whole hatred, because that has never done well for no man in the history of the world. My thing is this, is that we have to call a spade a spade. And if the leadership of the PUP is rotten to the core, then we must say it. We must let the Belizean people know it. You know why? Because if we don't say it, and they get into office, that core of rottenness will plague this country, will devastate this country, and then who we are set for blame? We can't blame them. We can't blame Johnny Briceño. We can't blame Musa. We blame ourselves for having allowed them to come into office. The powerful and the most powerful strength that we have as Belizeans is our sacred vote, and that vote must be done with integrity. We must do it in the right interest of this country. And I will tell you this, if we as Belizeans stand for Belizeans united for Belize, we can't go wrong. The problem is we have political parties who come out there and try push you and bamboozle you. And that is what is taking place right now. And I will always tell people, the UDP is not perfect, but by gosh, man, you can't compare it to what the PUP is right now under the leadership of Johnny Briceño, Musas, Fonsecas, Marines, Hyde, because they have proven to this nation, well, they were in political office, and not like new blood we deal with, you know. We are dealing with the same old blood who brought the superbond on this country, who brought about the corruption and the theft of millions and millions of dollars from government. You drive right now, take the trip. I dare anybody, take a trip from Corozal and you go down right to PG. And then when you come back, you tell me what you have seen, where this country is going, and tell me if you don't feel good about that. Right now we are paying $26 million, one bullet payment, gone. You know what, $26 million? That has gone because of certain people who are in the PUP who made and brought this country to its knees. And yet then you ask me for put them back in office? Something must be terribly wrong if I don't value my beliefs, if I don't value a better quality of life for me and my kids and the children of this country. Something must be wrong with me if I can't say that. And that is what I ask Belizeans across this country. Do what is right, because although we have UDPs and PUPs who are fanatics or stalwart supporters, you have a majority of people who lie right in between the both parties. And those are the people who we are counting on to be able to make that right decision for this country. But listen to me, you are not make that right decision if you're not open, if you don't think objectively, and you don't do your homework by seeing exactly what the situation is. And I will tell you, PUP and UDP, it is the difference between night and day. Simple as that. And your UDP stands for what is right. And I always tell people, man, this is the honest truth. And if the PUP may change in people a long time they could come back in the office. Trust me. But we cannot allow them, not at this point in time, which is a critical point in time for this country. Because we are moving forward steadily. We have been moving there. And you put Johnny Briceño, Musa, and the likes of them, along with Ashraf, back in power. You know what that means for this country, my brother? I didn't even want to think about it.
Well, RCM, your closing remarks for this morning, because it's 2 minutes after 9, my brother.
Well, thank you for the invitation, Shakir. Thank you.
Yes, man, always.
It's good to be here with the minister. And what I'd like to say to the Belizean people, to my brothers and sisters, is, we want to thank God for this wonderful day and to give us an opportunity to reflect on who we are as a people. And where is it do we want to go? Where do we want to go? What do we want for our children? What do we want for our families? What do we want for our community? What do we want for our nation? We want to see growth. We want to see development. When you look at both political parties and you make a decent, a real examination of both political parties, history will tell you that during the period of the opposition, failure has been there, defeat has been there, stagnation has been there. And when you look at the history of the United Democratic Party, the UDP, you have seen growth, you have seen development, you have seen education grow, you have seen the health system grow, you have seen the infrastructure development grow, and you have seen the economy going through its transition. You have seen social media being expanded and open to everyone. You have seen technology being put into our country and through the system. What have you been seeing with the UDP? Growth, development. And I want to ask the people to reflect. And as we get ready to go into the 2020 election, let us remember that the right party to vote for is the United Democratic Party. We vote for the party that works for the people all the time. From 2008 to the present, the work continues and shall continue under the United Democratic Party. Have a wonderful day. God bless you.
Your closing remarks, Minister, and of course a message to the residents of Orange Walk East.
Well, definitely, of course. I will not get time for me to talk about some of the things that we're doing, but next week when I come check it, I'll bring pictures, etc. We'll talk more on some of the work that we are doing.
For sure, we can deal with
we
that
had some
next
work
week.
done last week and of course this week, but we'll touch that next week. But my closing remarks is that God has given each one of us, as a person, the intelligence has given us the capacity to be able to look at things, and I think through our own upbringing, we understand what is right and wrong. We understand what benefits us as a nation, as a people. We know what we would want to see. We have a vision, we have hope, we have all that it takes for us to be able to make good decisions in our lives, And this is from your personal level at home to the biggest decisions you make in your life. We all go through decision making in our personal lives, and the same it will be when it comes to people who will have to make a decision on election day. And sometimes we have things that try to obscure that decision making process, And I always tell people that as Belizeans we must think not only about ourselves, but we must think about the better interest, the greater interest of our Belizeans across this country. We must think upon the improved quality of life that we would like to see for our Belizeans. We want to see what is in the best interest of this country on a whole. And if we sincerely believe in that, then we have a right, we have a duty as Belizeans to be able to make sound decisions. And the only time we have the kind of power that we have as Belizeans is when we go to the polls. And at this point in time, the PUP has come awash with all kind of things, anti-corruption demonstration. They talk about corruption and all of that. And it not take one to be a rocket scientist to know who these people are. It's very same people who brought this country to its knees. They talk to you about corruption. To me that is the greatest hypocrisy, the greatest insult to Belizeans across this country. But it is what it is. They believe that will do them well as the PUP. For me, I think Belizeans across this country need to analyze things and at the end of the day make the right decision. Because at the end of the day, Cheke, you get the leadership you choose, And if you choose the wrong leadership, then that is what you will get. You can't expect that you plant potatoes and then you get carrots. You understand? Yes. And my thing is simple. As Belizeans, we have to analyze these things because at the end of the day, it is us who have to deal with that. It is us who, as Belizeans, must live with the leadership we get. And despite the noise that is out there right now, I've always told people I always stand for what is right. And at the end of the day, the United Democratic Party is the right option for this country. The PUP is definitely not an option, not in the state of affairs they are in, under the kind of leadership of Johnny Briceño, Mousas, Fonsecas, Marines, Hyde, etc., expats. They are not the right people for that party. And this is no I don't hate nobody with a PUP. I have a lot of good friends who are PUPs, and we with enough respect. This is not about that. It is about, make we be real, it is about the kind of leadership we are talking about. And definitely, I think the nation wants to see the best for this country. We must be wary of the people who are there supporting the PUP, such people like Ashcroft, etc. Them people don't mean nothing good for this country. We have experienced it in the past, and thank gosh that they had the United Democratic Party come forward and save this country from Ashcroft and the PUP. And now we are looking to go right back into that path. We cannot allow that as Belizeans, and I implore Belizeans across this country. Listen, do your homework, man. Do your homework, do your reading, do that. Not worry about the noise out there. Stand fast with your UDP as you have done so in the past, which has shown that as we progress, we move together, building this nation. And yes, we are going with bumps, we are going with storms that come about, etc. But at the end of the day, we overcome these things, and forever we continue to move this country forward. And that's all I ask Belizeans, to think right for this country and its people.
Well, thank you very much, Minister. Thank you very much, RC1. And Minister will be back with us next week, Wednesday. We'd like to thank you all who tune into the Sugar City Morning Show. This show repeats tonight at 9 o'clock. It's on YouTube. So if you want to see it, you can go on YouTube and just type in Sugar City Morning Show and put today's date, and you can see the entire show. But you can relax in your bed tonight and watch it at 9 o'clock. We'd like to thank everyone from the East Radio, all the operators there, for having us on air, and thanks to the listeners of the East Radio for tuning in every Wednesday morning so that your listeners can hear the message from the minister. My name is Robert Checker Usher. We'd like to thank Raheem. And of course, if the good Lord so will, we'll be back tomorrow, and tomorrow we should be having some folks from the Northern Regional Hospital. They'll be talking about some health issue and about the coronavirus and different issues. So we'll be right back. So have yourself a wonderful day, and we say hasta mañana until we meet again.
Sugar City Morning Show.